Good morning, Groovers. Just doing the last checks before liftoff. Just see. Oh, bloody. Okay, that wasn't the plan. Oh, what's going on here? That wasn't the plan either. I opened Bixby, I opened my camera. Right, we're back on stream now, at least. By now it's the weird screen. Never mind. All right. Phone and everything is good to go. Just cleaning my glasses. They got wet walking to the car. It's currently a delightful 10 degrees Celsius here in Hobart, or not Hobart, here in Tassie. First, g'day, Grover. 10 degrees in Judges Ferry. It's 6:57 a.m. Those my new windscreen wipers are so squeaky. Just clearing my windows. It's a soggy Monday morning, and I'm back to work after a very delightful break, which felt like it went forever, but then ended really quickly. That kind of scenario. G'day, Gruber. But I'm feeling very, very relaxed. I kicked off my break with a. They're so squeaky. I kicked off the break with a weekend away with a couple of friends and relaxed and ate and drank a lot and had a spa treatment and came back just feeling so chilled out. And that vibe has continued, even though I've been busy and I've done a heap of stuff, including a lot of culling at home, but also buying a few new pieces, furniture. You know, if you make space, you better fill it. No, I'm kidding. It's practical stuff that has storage. Not that I want to store more stuff, but there were a few gaps in my house. Like my spare bedroom didn't have any kind of table or dresser for people to put things on. Hanging space, but not where to put their sponge bag and shit like that. And then just to keep the zen going, because I know my day today is going to be pretty feral. The girls have had to survive without me, and we're very understaffed, so they've been worked to the bone while I've been away. But I've been worked to the bone before I went away, so you know it swings and roundabouts. But I have a very full calendar with lots of difficult clients today, and that's okay. I'm in the right headspace for them. I can handle them. But to keep the zen going, I did a yoga workshop. I'm trying to think of the word. A workshop yesterday. It went for 2 hours and started out with yin yoga, which is just like ultimate zen. You hold a pose for like 5 minutes. And as they tell us all the time, there's a difference between discomfort and pain. There's discomfort for sure, but if you hold the pose for the 5 minutes, the benefits are amazing. And then it ended with this sort of sound therapy, and not therapy, but just half an hour of really beautiful music that a yogi played, and then that's why I've got my subject heading. Are you still in extreme heat? Cement shoes. Yeah, 10 degrees is, I mean, it's actually not, it's not that cold. Like I've just walked from my house to my car in, like I've got like it is a, well, it's not a skivvy in the true sense of the word of a skivvy, but it's like a turtleneck, but it's not a jumper. It's cotton, if that makes sense, but it's looser than a skivvy. But anyway, and I'm not cold. I did get a little bit wet, but I'm not cold. We're starting to head into that beautiful spring weather. But yeah, hang in there with the heat. It's so much harder to cool down than it is to warm up. You know, like if you need to warm up, you just pile on more and more layers and put on your yummy alpaca wool and your Ugg boots and your hoodie and all the yummy hoodies are not hoodies. It's not me saying it wrong, by the way. It's kind of like a fleece lined cape with a hood. Um, whereas cooling down is so much harder. And even though summer will be with us in, you know, a bit over 3 months, it's not going to, we don't swelter here. Like the rest of Australia can have incredibly hot summers. We, being a little island, the weather blows over pretty quickly. We rarely have like a heat wave. And if we did, it'd be like 2 days in the high 30s degrees Celsius. Whereas, you know, parts of Australia have reported temperatures like very high 40s and even over 50, which is insane. And we might get 2 days that get to 40 in summer, but they, it still cools down at night. It's staying in with aircon like hiding. I know the feeling. When I lived in Adelaide, they had really bad heat waves that would go for weeks, and we literally just lived in air conditioning. I used to have an air conditioner in a rental. There was, you know, because it was a rental property, they put a, not a cheap one, but it wasn't a great one, air conditioner in it. It used to freeze up, like it would be covered in ice. And it just basically turned into this gigantic block of ice on the side of the house. I mean, I love the climate here because we're very outdoorsy and we can do shit here all year round, like outdoors. Like we don't, the cold weather doesn't make us all go inside and put the heating on. Like we can still get out and about and do stuff because it's not crazy cold. And the same with the summer temperatures. They're not like extreme. So yeah, we might get 1 or 2 days that are a bit hot and uncomfortable, but for the most part, our summers are pretty awesome. But other parts of Australia, they fry it, like the Sahara too. So the topic for today, while we drive to work, our drive therapy topic. When was the last time you embarrassed yourself in public? Personally, if it comes to being almost professional at that sort of shit, my name would be quite high up on the list. I'm incredibly good at doing it. And I did it last night in this yoga workshop. Because we've already done an hour of HIIT, which is super relaxing. Then we did like half an hour of HIIT with Tamsin doing her music. And then the last half hour was just the music. But when you get to the music part, you sort of go into like, I guess, meditation, which I've never been great at. Like I'm basically awake or I'm asleep, this meditation thing. But I do like listening to yummy music or reading a yummy book or something like that, or just sitting out on my block looking at my little garden that's starting to grow. And that's probably about as meditative as I get. Well, I do listen to some soothing voices at night time when I can't fall asleep from time to time. But we've just done this incredibly relaxing yoga that makes you very floaty anyway. And then we all do the sort of meditative component, and you're lying on the floor under your blankets, and you've got little eye masks, and it was getting dark outside. So I started to fall asleep. But with my falling asleep on my back comes the snore. So I'm lying there and I start chuckling because I'm like, oh, someone's starting to snore. And then I realise it's fucking me. So I sort of wriggled a bit, moved a bit to readjust and thinking the whole time if I could just lie on my side. And then I start nodding off again and I wake myself up with, that kind of thing. I'm like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. So then I decide the only thing I can do is just lie there with my eyes wide open and that'll stop me snoring. It doesn't. I started making those little dreamscape snoring sounds again. I was mightily embarrassed. My neighbour who did the workshop as well, who was lying next to me, was very tactful and said, I heard a few baby snores. I thought it was very cute. I did the gigantic snore. Oh, the last time he was drunk? Yeah. I hadn't been drunk for a very long time until we're at Sapphire, and then, all inclusive, amazing wines. Yeah, I had a few. I got pretty tipsy, but I didn't get smashed. But I'm very good at. I'm the person that watches somebody walk into a pole, and I piss myself laughing because I love laughing at the expense of others. Clumsy shit, not horrible shit. And then I walk into a pole because I'm so busy looking at them laughing, not at them, but just having a chuckle. And then boom, I do it. You have too much arthritis up with the yoga stuff. Yeah, it does hurt, especially if you haven't been doing it for a while and you go back to do it. It's like, oh my God. And when the yogis say there's a difference between discomfort and pain, I'm there going, it's pain that hell's out. I'm in pain. I'm glad we're getting some rain down here. We don't get a lot. So that's good news for all the farms we're driving by. See how the grass is still kind of yellowy, like it's not that rich, heavily watered green. I mean, there's a paddock on the right that's fairly green, but they've got irrigation. And look, I actually don't mind working on days like today because the office gets all cozy and I'll probably nod off. I think I'm back in the yoga workshop. That was the other thing, the studio, I think at the moment the temperature in there is 28 degrees Celsius, which is just that really yummy, perfect sort of summer's day. Like anything between 28 and 34, I love. That's sort of my favourite temperature range. I think 32 is my perfect summer temperature. But, so it's really warm too. I mean, it was right for, and it's the second time in a workshop that I've been the snorer. The last time I was dead to the world snoring my head off, and the yogis actually came over and rubbed like an essential oil into my feet to wake me up. Thank God I was relaxed because normally if someone touches my feet, they get a kick to the face. Looks like it's just you and me, cement shoes, but a few people, but no one else is saying g'day. I bet if I started bitching about a YouTuber, a few people would slide on in. You literally can call your live, this YouTuber is a wanker, and people come blocking to see what wanky you're talking about. But the truth be told, the more I think about it, as much as we're all very lovely people, I think everyone on YouTube's a wanker in a way. Yeah, g'day lurkers. I can't stand my feet being touched either. When I had the massage up at Sapphire's, she's like, is there anything I need to know? And I said, yes, I used to belong to a Facebook group called If You Touch My Feet, I'm Not Responsible What I Do to Your Face. And she laughed her head off. And I'm like, yeah, it's funny, I know, but it's serious too. So I actually wear little, because I like having my feet massaged, but not people touching my skin. So I wear little socks. But don't start doing little weird shit in between each of my toes. That is sacred ground. I'm curious to see how long it takes to get to town because these roadworks are getting better and better. Like the speed of getting in and out of town is getting better. There's some black swans on the left. They look like little Loch Ness monsters. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Shannon, if you're chatting to Anastasia, I saw a message from her right before I started driving. I didn't have a chance to reply, but just let her know I got the message. I only read the first bit of it because I literally dropped out on my screen as I hit the live button. We were going to try and chat on the weekend, and she said she messed up the times or something, but it's fine. We can chat again very soon. But if you happen to bump into her, Shannon, just let her know that it's all okay. No fucking worries, right? No fucking worries. Yeah, it would be funny if she got a jaw watcher. I mean, the only time I have actually, and I felt really bad about it, but she sort of deserved it. I did kick a chick in the face once, and it was a reflex. It wasn't deliberate, and she knew it was a reflex. But she was giving me a Brazilian, and she was rough as guts, and I actually felt like she was removing my bits with the wax. Like things were getting pulled and tweaked and fucking yanked at, and I kind of said, "Hey, calm down a bit," because she normally was pretty gentle, and I was thinking she might have had a fight with a boyfriend or something, and she was taken out on my fenora region. Anyway, she continued with this pretty aggressive procedure, and I had tears rolling down my face, and I'm thinking I'm going to have my fenora region repaired, and I have to get an artificial fenora, and then Yankapalooza again, and my leg just boom straight into her face. That'll learn you, I thought. Is Hendo here? You know what a Brazilian is? Yeah. Yankapalooza. Oh, it was horrible. So yeah, she did cop a bit of a foot to the face, and she was never that rough again. I really don't know what was going on with her that day. She wasn't having a good day, and for some reason, it was easier to take it out on me and my most delicate and private parts. Hey, Hendo. Good to see you, Groover. I'm back to work after my lovely break. Hey, bit of shameless self-promotion, but I cooked on the Shitty Kitty Kitchen channel last night. I'm starting to do all of my cooking over there, and I'm hoping to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we're on like 94 now. But I haven't done anything on that channel for over a year, so you know. But if you like the cooking stuff I do, go and subscribe to that channel because that's where I'm going to be doing all my cooking. Like, I'll probably live stream on both channels for like a week or two, and then it's all on the Shitty Kitty Kitchen, and it's she is spelled SHXTTY because you know no swear words on the YouTubes. So it's the Shitty Kitty Kitchen. We made mushroom soup last night. It was fun. It was yummy. I had it when I got home from the yoga. It felt very holistic and healthy after I snored. Well, it sounds like I'm the only person that embarrasses myself in public consistently, but that's fine. I'm happy to be the comic relief. All of this stretch of road will eventually be 4 lanes, and it's going to make such a difference. I think it might be 3 lanes. And I'll have like 2 lanes when we're going in the morning, and then 2 lanes when we're going out at night, and then 1 lane in the other direction. But it's, it's definitely improved. Like I left home about 20 minutes ago, and so far we're doing all right. So what's been happening on YouTube? Is anyone talking about anything other than the Kylie Rodney case? Was not even a case yet. Mystery. That name seems to be consistently appearing in my list. And is the trial like on the Rust movie set, like the Alec Baldwin? Is that in court at the moment? That seems to be in the list. And then there was also the rumour that Amber Heard got married in Australia. And there's always people in the comments that I just want to argue with because they're so fucking stupid. You're trying to think of a good story and drawing a proverbial blank. Nicely written. That's a well written excuse. I'll take that one. But yeah, I used to get into all these discussions with people on social media, and I pretty much bailed from Facebook because I got sick of how everyone just was fighting on there. I called it Fight Book. Hey, Joey, you got a job? Tell us about it. We can have a little celebration with you. Congratulations. That's awesome, Joey. But yeah, now I find on YouTube that the people that put comments deserve my response because they're just such fuck knuckles. So there's a creator that did the rumour about Amber Heard getting married in Australia, and there's a picture of these two people like far off in the distance standing on some sand with some water in the background, and they're like, they got married on Bondi Beach. And I'm like, that doesn't fucking look like Bondi. I know it's just sand and a beach, but it's still not. I lived at Bondi. Like, I know what the sand and the water looks like. For starters, it's a surf beach. And this water is dead calm and sort of that tropical topaz colour. But the other thing about Bondi is It's not a deserted beach. It is fucking packed. Like strangers literally sit. Well, no, it's social distancing a metre away, but they used to sit right fucking next to you. Like the beach is absolutely covered in people. And like I said, it's got surf. But anyway, irrespective of whether it's Bondi or not, but it doesn't look anything fucking like Bondi. And all these Aussies are saying the same thing. But everyone else is like, it is Bondi. It was confirmed. Well, it was the guy that did this live was saying the whole way it was an alleged rumour. So I don't know who fucking confirmed it. But anyway, I had to read the comments. And there's a person on there who says Amber is facing charges in Australia and they allowed her to get married there. Shame on them. And I had to bite. I took the bait. I have to respond. Firstly, Amber isn't facing charges in Australia. Investigating someone is very different to charging them, as we all know. And there's always the fuckwit who doesn't think the speed limit applies to them. There we are, in the rain, speeding along. I'm glad everyone else is sitting on the speed limit because that'll force that wanker to slow down. Hey, Scout. Sweet dreams, Hendo. I wouldn't worry about the replay. We're just crapping on, as you know. Sunny is very sad, Scout. She knows I've gone to work for the whole day. She's had me at her beck and call for the last 2.5 weeks, and the carnival is over. There was a very sad, I'm going to guilt you into staying face. And when I put the radio on to keep her company, it was George Michael, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. So I was singing Don't Let the Sunny Go Down on Me, and she was just looking at me like, that's not going to make me laugh. Oh, God, that sounded rude. I'm sorry. But I hope you know that I didn't mean it in a rude way. Jesus. But she looked at me like, that's not going to work. Yeah, she's sulking. She's got food, she's got water, she's got music playing, she's got all of her fucking toys, she's got numerous soft furnishings to roll around on all day. I mean, I'm not running around the house with a vacuum cleaner. That's when she gets genuinely upset. But she knew I was going to work as soon as I put my work boots on. She's like, well, they're not work boots, they're boots that I wear to work. They sound very different to either the Birkenstock slippers or my Ugg boots or bare feet or thongs that I've been wearing for the last few weeks. As soon as she heard the heel clicking on the wooden floorboard, she's like, uh-oh. She's very needy, Scout. Sunny wants her mum. Sunny gets a lot of her mum. I've never had a cat that gets on my lap as much as she does before. Like, anything, whenever I sit down, boom, she's on my lap. And I'm pissed. I think it's cute, but it's like, I think it'd be good for her to, you know, rediscover her independence a little bit over the next 2 days. It's 2 days, although I've got a lot on this week. I'm going into town on Wednesday. I'm getting my boobs squished. I've got my mammogram coming up. That's always great fun. And then my brother's back from Singapore, so I've got lunch on Friday with him. So I'm actually going to be out and about a lot this week. Oh, and I'm doing my taxes on Thursday, I think, too. Like, there's a lot going on. She is a little love bug. That is very true. She's a smoocher. Some friends of mine met her for the first time on Saturday. Oh no, she one of them had met her before, but he hadn't really. I mean, he said she was cute, but his wife was just like, "Oh my god, she is the prettiest cat." I'm like, I know. She intimidates the fuck out of all of us. She's just ridiculously pretty. I know I sound like a crazy cat lady. People are like, cats aren't pretty, but you guys know Sunny's like, she's a spunk. Looks like it's raining in Hobart Town too. But yeah, she is a love bug, but she turns it on. I get the saddest face in the world. It's like Puss in Boots in Shrek standing there with his hat looking up at Shrek with the big eyes and the tears welling up. That's the same sort of shit she turns on. Unbelievable. Don't leave me. So I thought you'd be keen to have a bit of respite, a bit of a break from your mother. She's so funny too, like she loves playing at the zoomies, like she loves me chasing her around the house and she plays hide and seek. But she likes to play that the most right before I'm going to work. Like when I'm literally gathering up my shit to leave the house, that's when she wants that. Or when I'm about to go to bed. Like as soon as she hears me in the bathroom brushing my teeth, on come the zoomies. It's like, kid, I've been here all day while you've been sleeping all fucking day. Plenty of time to chase you around the house. But when I physically am leaving the house or I'm going to bed, that's when you are the most interested in playing. Your timing sucks, kiddo. And I do, when I'm going to bed, I do chase her around the house and then I'm suddenly wide awake again. Or I chase her around the house in the morning and leave 5 minutes later. And sometimes leaving that 5 minutes later is a difference between a good run in and a crawly crawly. Although, judging from this trip in today, it feels like it's school holidays and it's not. These roadworks are doing their job. Good on Tas Roads. I'm impressed. I'm going to sing their praises everywhere. I'm going to drown out the whinges. But yeah, shame on Australia. That chick making the comment about, I'm sorry I can't read chat at the moment. I'm really focusing on the road because conditions are a little perilous. Um, yeah, this person, shame on Australia. It's like, what the whole fucking country for not arresting someone even though there's no charges that have been laid against Amber Heard. Like, she's been investigated. But also, trust me, if Amber Heard tried to come into Australia while she's being investigated, I reckon they might have done a little, hey, want to come and have a chat? We'd like to interview you. Or she might struggle to leave. Like, she might have no issue coming in, but getting out. But I love that. Shame on us, shame on you. And I'm like, really? You're blaming an entire country for not arresting someone that actually can't be arrested and is rumoured to have got married here, even though it looks nothing like Bondi Beach. Shame on you, fuckwit, for believing this alleged rumour. I have to respond to people like that now because they just irk me. I find them irksome. And so I'm getting into responding to tosses. I'm starting to respond to tosses in some YouTube lives as well. I'm sick of being polite and zipping my lip. I'm like, everyone else is mouthy and opinionated on there. Fuck it. It's about time I spoke up about things that irk me. Well, that's the rumour, Joey, and the rumour is Amber has married Eve Barlow, that girl who got kicked out of court for mucking around on social media. There's a rumour that they're married. There's a rumour that they're moving to Israel, of all places. I think Eve is Jewish. Because if they go to Israel, Amber won't be forced to pay that 10.3 million or whatever it is to Johnny, and also won't be extradited. So that's the theory behind why they've done it. But to get even weirder, the theory is that they got married in Australia, which has led to all kinds of discussion on YouTube under these videos sharing the alleged rumour about how fucked up Australia is for not arresting her and for allowing her to get married here. And there's a photo of what looks like two women standing under a canopy with some flowers on it on a beach. And they're claiming it's Bondi, but there's no surf and there aren't 50 fucking million people there. And there's a lot of very mouthy, upset Americans in particular in the comments saying how fucked it is that Australia allowed her to get married here and didn't arrest her. And it's like, for what? She hasn't been charged with anything here. I think it's highly unlikely she would travel to a country where she knows she's being investigated for perjury and could face up to 14 years in jail. Do you really think she'd come here to get married? It's a silly move. But then other people are saying, well, she's constantly taunted Australia, like naming her dog Barnaby Joyce and doing that really bad apology video. And, you know, she's not a fan. And that trip they had here, but she's been back here since that horrible trip. But do you still think you'd risk flying to a country where you're being investigated? And the FBI are allegedly helping the investigation? Do you think a smart person, I mean, I don't think she's that smart, but I don't think she's that stupid either. But irrespective, even if it's all true, there are some very angry people that she wasn't arrested on the spot and locked in jail and the key thrown away, and everyone's kind of like, for what? And I'm still looking at these photos of this person, these people on the beach, thinking that doesn't look anything fucking like Bondi. And other people are going, there's sand and water. It could be a beach anywhere. How do you know it's not Bondi? And it's like, because it's not Bondi. Like, that is not what Bondi looks like. Yeah, it's got sand and water. The water is like surf. And the amount of vacant sand in that photo, nah. No, even if you get married on Bondi Beach, you've got shitloads of strangers sitting around you. They don't close a beach for your fucking wedding. Amber is a piece of work. But then so are all these wankers online that have shit to say about shit. Oh, Joey, I wish I could read that. I can't while I'm driving. If I get a traffic light, which I probably won't now because all of these lights are in sync, but if I do happen to get a red light. It's actually, I mean, irrespective of Amber and her ongoing bullshit, she's definitely delivering constant bullshit. My God, what a piece of work. I mean, it's actually all the twits online on YouTube that are commenting that are starting to be more annoying than her. Like, you should have a look at the photo. It's as blurry and as distant as the ones that were taken of her wedding to Johnny Depp. But there's literally two sort of people way off in the. Oh, that's definitely her. Really? She looks like a fucking matchstick. Both of the people do. Oh, that's her. And because this girl from Bondi said it was them, yep, they got married in Australia. And shame on you, Australia. Shame on you for allowing this to happen. I want to know about your job, Joey. Or are you keeping that? What's that? Someone did a Google search not 10 years ago. No, it's another rumour, and that's why all these people that get so worked up and so butthurt about shit. And it's like, did you even just pop it into Google to see if it's been confirmed or if anyone reputable's talking about it? I'm not saying the YouTube creator that I heard talking about, I love him. He's great. I can't remember his name, but I love him. But he was the whole time was saying allegedly this is a rumor, just chatting about it. He really uses it as an excuse to introduce his new puppy Chester. But oh, you have to let us know your Instagram, Cement Shoes. Oh, you're cleaning an 1850s inn. Oh, how groovy. I actually like cleaning as a job. Like, I love cleaning. I love making things clean, and you can put on some music and just get into it. It's a rewarding gig. Oh, thanks, Gruber. Look at us, guys. It's 7:39. Like, it's literally just under an hour since I start work. It'll give me time to put my face on at least. Oh, I didn't bring a headband. And actually, I need a headband now. I've got a fringe. Or bangs, as you Americans say. Bang means something very different in Australia. I never understood why they're called bangs. Oh, my park's there too. I mean, oh, happy day. But yeah, I didn't bring a thing. Yeah, you may as well get paid for it. It's in Wollongby. Nice. Is it Wollongby or Wollombi? Didn't someone from Hunter end up there? It's ringing a bell. But congrats, Joey. That's awesome. And yeah, I love cleaning shit. So rewarding. And if you get paid to do it, even better. I've often thought about doing cleaning just as a little top-up job because I'm only part-time. Because it actually pays really well. Oh, from the show Hunted. You didn't watch Hunted, Joey? It was so cool. Oh, there's the Instagram. Awesome. I'll go back and click that link and subscribe as well. So, I mean, I think you've mentioned your memes quite a bit, but I didn't know you actually had like a dedicated Amber Heard meme channel. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, Hunted was a show that was recently on where they dropped 18 people, like 9 couples. Although when I say couples, some of them were like auntie, niece, and whatever, friends, workmates. Um, in the middle of Melbourne, they had 2 vans and they just rocked up into the middle of Melbourne and let them out. And then they were on the run, and they had to be on the run for 21 days. And then there was this pickup point, and they had to get to the pickup point before the hunters. And the hunters were all these like former detectives and criminal investigators and forensic psychologists, and they all had every kind of technology. Like they had super fast boats, helicopters, drones, shitloads of them were on the road in big black 4-wheel drives, tracking these fuckers down. And they gave them, everyone was given, they all had to surrender their phones, and they were given a $500 ATM card. That's exactly what a meme is, cement shoes. It's screenshots with captions. Oh, cool, I'll check it out. That's fun. Yeah, so they were all on the run and they all got paranoid. Some of them made the most basic mistakes. And like even getting the money out, obviously as soon as they used the card, the hunters knew the area they were in. And if you bought like a Mikey card, every time you scanned it, they'd know what train or they'd know where you were heading, like you were heading from that station. And some of them were like caught at a property and managed to outrun the hunters. And then they'd go back to that property and the hunters would just be sitting out the front waiting for them. But they went through all of their social media, and these dumb nuts were like messaging people on Messenger saying, can we come and stay with you? And they had all the phone records and they were getting pings from everywhere because one of them had a disposable, like a burner phone. It was really cool. And the pickup point was a chopper sitting on a beach. And in the last 24 hours, the hunted were given the location of where the pickup point was. But the hunters were also given the location of where the people that were being hunted were when they got that call. So it enabled them to narrow it down. And yeah, it was really nail biting. It's on 10 Play, I think. I think it was Channel 10. I won't give you the ending, but it was really good. I'd love to do a show like that. I mean, they made some really silly mistakes, and one of them, like one of the silliest mistakes, was a lot of them had their hinky meters were just going off and spinning. That they knew they had to get out of somewhere, but the other person in the team would be like, "No, we'll be right. We'll just stay here for the night and head off in the morning." And there was a certain time they had to stop running, and then a certain time they could start running again overnight, just so everyone would get a break. See you, Joey. Congrats on your job, gorgeous. Hey, Veruca. But yeah, it was really compelling, and they all started getting paranoid, and you get paranoid watching it, and it's great. It was great. All right, let's do something with my face. I bought a new smart TV while I was on my break, and it made me realise that my other smart TV was so outdated, and I tried all the updates and all the things they tell you to do. And then I saw that, the new smart TVs that you can add apps to and everything was selling for like $400 and $300. I'm like, fuck it, just go and get a new TV. And I'd unsubscribed from Netflix and was thinking, I'll just watch not free to air, but like the TV stations you can watch replay stuff. Anyway, I get this smart TV, and now I can watch even free to air shows live, and it's like this whole world has opened up for me because I was just really slow in getting an up-to-date TV for a couple of $100. It was ridiculous. This other TV, I was just like, what's wrong with it? And I did a factory reset and I updated it and it had fuck all on it. And then when I started Googling, I kept seeing pre-2014 smart TVs are pretty much fucked now. And I was like, oh, I bought mine while I was building my house. So it was a my house was finished in 2014. But the TV was a 2013. And it's like, well, so I put that on the giveaway site and I said to people, look, it's an outdated smart TV. I don't know if you want it because it's pretty much fucking useless. But if anyone wants it, come and get it. And then this chick messaged me and said, does it have an HDMI port? And I said, yep. And she's like, I'll come and get it. I can use it as a monitor from working from home. I was like, well, you're clever. It's out the front. Come and get it. And it was gone in 50 seconds. Well, 5 minutes. So now I have everything I want to watch at my disposal except Netflix, and I don't miss it at all. And I was thinking, why the fuck did I stay with Netflix for so long when everything I ever wanted is free? And Australian Netflix never caught up to American Netflix. Like movies with big name stars and blockbuster sort of stuff have never made it onto Netflix here. I go on to SBS, which is one of our TV stations, and what the first thing I watched was St. Elmo's Fire. Like it, yeah, Netflix is boo-hoo. But there is a channel called Paramount Plus, which I want to get. It is a subscription, but I want to get it because there's a new reality show in Australia called The Bridge, and it was filmed in Tassie. And it's basically a shitload of people dropped in the Tasmanian wilderness, and they have to build a bridge from this little island they're dropped on over to the mainland of Tassie. And whoever wins $250,000. But I'm really curious to watch it because I want to know what like people say it's really gripping, and I want to know why. Why is it gripping just watching a shitload of people building this sort of log? And when they say bridge, it's like a floating log bridge that's just floating on the water. It doesn't look like it'd be much fun to cross it, but anyway. I'm curious to see what that's all about. Oh, shit. Adventures with Purpose have found her. She's in the lake. What, in a car? Oh, fuck, that's really sad. God, they're incredible. I love Adventures with Purpose. I think you put me onto them, Scout. They're amazing. The number of, I mean, it's amazing they found Kylie, but I just think I called her Keely, but Kylie. You know, the kids that have been missing for like 30 years and they find them and their parents are finally able to farewell them and know what happened to them. So she was in her car because there were YouTubers going, she didn't have her car. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, I just got a notification. The mob crew, Kylie Rodney's been found in her car upside down in a lake. I mean, I knew that there were channels talking about it, and I listened to a few people talking about it, but it just was, you know, the usual YouTube bullshit. You know, we covered it first, and then just
picking all these witnesses apart, and I mean, I don't know whether they were credible or not, but it was just that usual people just spending hours talking about shit like they're experts on it, and it's like we're all just observers, guys. You know, that's all we are. We don't have the skills like Adventures with Purpose do, or the investigators. We're just observers. But there was one YouTuber who was adamant that there's no way that she had her car. So I wonder if they'll, you know, eat some humble pie and say, oh, yikes, I got it wrong. They'll twist it to say, no, I knew she had a car. I just didn't think she was with the car. You know, they'll twist it. You watch. But, oh, there were so many channels covering it. And it's like, yeah, it's sad this girl's missing, but there are people looking for her. Do we need 80,000 channels all just speculating? It was a circus, Cement Shoes. Boom, your mod gave you the heads up. First, you did. And that's the credible information I've been waiting for. I mean, it's very sad. You know, it's sad when anybody dies, but I mean, the only thing I kind of picked up from um, what I heard, and like I said, I bounced around to a few different channels, one just to have a laugh because I knew they haven't evolved or grown in any way, shape, or form, and it was all about who reported things first, which just irritates me. It's like, at the expense of a missing girl, you're bragging that you covered it first. And how do you know that? Like, these people are very limited in the true crime circles they move in. Most of us have branched out and watched so many different channels that have nothing to do with them, and they're much bigger and more credible. And I feel like saying, yeah, actually, you're wrong, because if you type her name in to YouTube, you'll find there were fucking massive numbers of channels covering it before you were. But I hate that. It's like, why is that the most important thing? Oh, I was covering it first. If you're covering cases for awareness, like you all claim you are, does it matter who covers it first? What really matters is more people should be covering it, right? The more people talking about it, the more likely people will be onto it and they might find her. You want lots of people. So you don't get a gold star for being one of the first to cover it. Crazy mentality. But the only thing I kind of picked up from it was I'm so glad that my group of friends and I all gave a fuck about each other. And, you know, we were conscious of if we're at parties of where we all were, and, you know, nobody ever didn't make it home safely. Like, there'd always be a designated driver. I was usually that person. I was the one that, I mean, even on the nights when we were all catching a cab, even if I was a bit drunk, I was still with it enough to make sure that everyone got home safely. Like, I'd never leave a friend on their own in a nightclub or a bar or anything. The only thing I really picked up from it was, wow, there's a recipe for disaster when you've got a shitload of young, selfish, self-centered kids out at a party where they're not looking out for each other. Yeah, I'm glad they found her for her family too. They get some closure. Glad she wasn't trafficked. I never thought that would be likely because she just didn't tick all of the perfect trafficking victim boxes. I did hear people talking about that as a theory. It's pathetic how some of these creators claim to be number one because it all comes down to the money. Yeah. Yeah. They'll get a super chat saying, you were amazing. You got onto this first. Here, have some of my hard-earned money because I can't be bothered typing Kylie Rodney into YouTube to see who did actually cover it first. I'll just believe you and your bullshit. But it's so weird, isn't it? Like, why is that a competition? Why do people think that they deserve some sort of accolade for talking about someone who's missing or murdered first. Oh, and it's all about the victims. I'm doing this for the victims and for awareness. Yet I also want bragging rights that they're being missing or they're being murdered was something I got onto super quickly. And at their expense, I'm going to have bragging rights now. But it's all about them, isn't it? It's all about them. It's all about awareness. Why can't people see through that shit? Like, it's so transparent and it's so irrelevant. Do you think that the parents and siblings and friends of Kylie Rodney are happy that you covered it first? No, they're worried sick about where she is. Like most people, even strangers. Grr. I've had a good purge before going back to work. But yeah, if anyone's ever listening to a YouTube creator and they start crapping on about covering it first, unsubscribe and don't look back. Their motives are dishonourable. It's got nothing to do with the victim, whatever they're doing on their channel. They're using that victim, like Scout said, to make money. And look at how many of them continue to. Like, look at how many channels are still talking about Shanann Ruchek and her children. They've just had the 4-year anniversary. And I don't have an issue with the channels that are only just sort of hearing about that case for the first time and talking about it. I'm talking about the ones that were there from day one. But as soon as he pled guilty, to me, it was like, case closed, next. And a few creators were like that. But most of them still making money. Coming up with ludicrous theories to justify going live again to make more money. And using victims' names and lives to do it. And then people are criticising the Rucheks for fighting back and being upset about it. What the fuck? They're the only people that are allowed to talk about it still and get fired up. Well, they shouldn't be on YouTube. Yeah, they should. You're defaming their family. They should definitely be on YouTube. They need to know what you fuckers are saying about their daughter and grandchildren. Maybe you shouldn't be on YouTube still crapping on about this case and making mountains of money off it 4 years after it happened. Yeah. Just you and me, cement shoes. Just how it started. Yeah, the Summer Wells case makes me feel sick. It leaves a very bad taste in my mouth. I mean, the true crime communities that many of us first met in and found ourselves in together have pretty much talked about the Watts case, Summer Wells, Kylie Rodney, and that's pretty much it. Oh, sorry, and Gabby Petito in 4 years. Sure, they might do a little retrospective look at, a case from 40 years ago, or they'll cover something briefly and that person's found and they'll move on. But for the most part, there's been a little bit of Barry Morphy, a little bit of Letitia Stout. There have been other little cases that have frittered in and out. But for the most part, in 4 years, they have just flogged those four cases over and over and over. I mean, the Summer Wells case is horrific, but she's gone and has been for a long time, I reckon. And the amount of shit that these amateur YouTubers have created and caused. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's a brilliant word. A pack of vulgarians. I agree. Unbelievably vulgar but just so insensitive too, because I often think, how the fuck would you be dealing with this if it was your family member that all these inexperienced, self-appointed true crime buffs are talking about? Oh God, I nearly took a basket into work that I cut up the cardboard boxes under my house last night. I you flashing them or yesterday and take them to the recycling, and I had a knife and it's still sitting in my basket. I would have gone into work with a bloody great big kitchen knife. It's a blunt one. It's the one I use for my for flattening boxes, but still. I've got everything I need. Oh, which glasses do I want to wear today? I might go with the red frames. They match my little tunic. But yeah, rest in peace, Kylie. That's just fucking sad. And well done, Adventures with Purpose, too. Again. Like, if you want to follow a YouTube channel that's doing something really constructive and productive and beneficial for the true crime world, subscribe to Adventures with Purpose. They're amazing. They actually do shit and find people and make a difference. But yeah, it's very sad for her family, and but at least they're not going to spend the next 40 years wondering what happened to their daughter. But pack of vulgarians is the perfect way to describe so many on the YouTube world. So I hope it's some cheese. Because I didn't listen to a heap of stuff about Kylie Rodney, but I know there was a witness who said she was incredibly drunk. So this sounds like she drove when she was really drunk and ended up in the lake. Is that a reasonable assumption? Yeah, summer was. I mean, there were a few channels that I felt were really intent on on knowing what happened to her at the start. But right from the start, two people were judging her family, the way they lived, like, before anyone really knew much about them. Really aggressive guy just walked through the car park. I was about to put my window up and lock my car doors. He was pretty angry. Anyway, he's just walked out of the car park and slammed the gate. So he was a cheery character for this hour of the morning. You can tell he's looking for a fight. That bad sort of juju. Alcohol sounds like, yeah, I know there was one girl who said that Kylie was really drunk. But the creators were sort of talking about everything around that statement except the fact that she was drunk and drawing all these inferences and reaching all these conclusions. But at the end of the day, I mean, if she was drunk and got into a car, that's a recipe for disaster, unfortunately. But it's very sad, like, 16 years old, or I think she was 16, and that's it. Her life is over. What a waste. But it is, I guess, the positive thing to come out of it is that her parents and siblings, if she has siblings and friends and all the family, are not going to spend the next 40 years of their life wondering where she is and what happened to her. It's definitely not the ending they would have been hoping for, but they'll get closure. Well, I hate saying that. They are not going to live the rest of their lives not knowing. I don't think you ever get closure. Yeah, that Dylan Rounds, I don't really. Someone mentioned that in my chat one day and told me what that one was about, but I think that kind of got pushed. Well, from my sort of just from notifications, the people that were covering that jumped ship onto the Kylie Rodney very quickly. Yeah, at least she wasn't deliberately harmed. But then people will now start saying, what a horrible accident, and there are no accidents when you've got all those things in the mix. It's a predictable outcome, unfortunately. Your phone died, dolls. Well, I had my engine running because it's kind of cold, and also the heater was nice, but also it was charging my phone. But the guy that just walked through the car park looking to pick a fight. Oh, and I've had so many notifications about people now going live about Kylie Rodney. Like, I reckon at least 9 since you told me, Scout. One of them just had Kylie Rodney found with about 6 question marks after it. Is someone now going to go into some theory that it's not her? Oh, my God. Yeah, so I had my engine running for warmth and charging my phone, but the guy that went through the car park just before picking a fight yelled at me. He's like, "Don't have to have your fucking motor running. It's not that fucking cold." I was like, well, I'll be the judge of that. You've had 10 at least. I've unsubscribed to so many people. Thank God I'm not getting it. Yeah, it will be crazy. Let's see if people's now, because they're all going to then start putting their theories out on how she ended up in the lake. But I mean, not that I want to tune in, but I'm curious to see if the YouTuber who said there's no way she had her car with her is going to backpedal out of that one, because they will. They always make bold, brash statements. You heard it here first. You watch. I'll be right. And then it's proven that they're completely wrong, but they don't have the humility to just go, oh, okay, on this occasion, my hinky meter was way off. Everyone will be back on Dylan rounds by tomorrow. Yep. But, you know, Adventures with Purpose, like, seriously, what an amazing YouTube channel. If you want to actually follow channels that solve cases, no, there won't be any humble pie. I might have to go in and troll the comments and get blocked. They'll still be covering it tonight, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm all about the Valo trial too, because I think that is just, well, the fact that it's even going to trial, see how she's going to wriggle out of this one, and those poor kids. And I'm fascinated about cults as well. But no, I'm with you. I'll be looking into that one for sure. But I'm being a bit more sensible with my channels. So any true crime stuff I'm going to do on Smooth Criminal, any cooking I'm going to do on the Shitty Kitty Kitchen, and then this sort of daily vloggy kind of stuff I'll be doing here. Thanks for dropping that link, Scout. Hopefully if people watch this replay, they'll grab it. And because, yeah, if you're going to watch a YouTube channel, watch ones that actually do shit and get results. Stop fucking humouring the narcissists of YouTube who just like the sound of their own voice, who will just keep going live for hours on end to talk and postulate and put their theories out. But yeah, I'll be doing a humble pie count later on. See how many people actually go, oh, my bad, got that one very wrong. Because wouldn't that be refreshing? How refreshing would it be for some of these bloody egomaniacs to actually admit they got something wrong? Like, I'd subscribe back to them if they did that, because I'd be like, oh, they've actually, they've got a bit of self-awareness finally after 4 fucking years. They're finally admitting that even they make a mistake from time to time. I'd actually give them another go if I saw an ounce of humility. But we know it's not going to happen. Oh, thanks, Scout. And my goal now is to get the Shitty Kitty Kitchen to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. We're on 94. I'm kind of being a bit sarcastic about by the end of the year. I think we'll definitely get 6 more subscribers before the end of the year. But going for 200 by the end of the year is a bit overwhelming, because I just know how hard it is to do original, nice content on YouTube. People don't want that. So I might aim for 200 by the middle of next year. But so yeah, we'll be channeling to the channels that are designed for specific things. Also, this Wednesday night, Australian Eastern Standard Time, will be the next episode of Batshit 39. So make sure you tune in for that one. And other than that, thanks for hanging out, Groovers. It's always good to see you guys, and I hope you have a really lovely Sunday evening if you're in America. And if anyone tunes in and it's Monday morning where you are, may your Monday be delightful. I know today is going to be, I'm going to have a full calendar, and it's going to be all of our really difficult clients. I already know that, and I'm fine with that, because I've been away for 2.5 weeks and my colleague has had to deal with it all on her own pretty much for the most part. So I'm fine with that. But I'm just going to take a deep breath and do one person at a time and before I know it, it'll be time to go home. That shit is Wednesday night, Australian Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. So if you punch that into the Google machine, it'll tell you what time it is where you are. But I'll be it'll be like Wednesday morning for you, I reckon. Thanks for doing the links, Scout. If anyone watches the replay, click those links if you're not already subscribed, because it'll be fun to have you over on my crime channel and my cooking channel. Take care, everyone, though, and yeah, try not to get too caught up in all the Kylie Rodney people. But if anyone does witness anyone eating some humble pie, let me know. I like surprises. I'll see you all very soon. Bye, Groovers.